Okay, I think we can start. I will just quickly check if everything is okay. Okay, so welcome everyone on today's Metal3 Community meeting. Today is 21st of January 2026. My name is Adam Rosman and I will be your host today. Let me quickly check the participant list. I don't see any unfamiliar names. So I think we can continue. Um, one reminder that I have not uploaded yet the meeting recording of previous week, but I will do so. We have the recording. It's just I didn't have time uh, to upload it properly or publish it properly. Okay. Other reminders: the meeting is recorded, so keep that in mind, please. If you would like to have the project, you can do that by filtering for the good first issue and the help wanted label. Or by creating issues with these labels so that others can implement them and contribute related to those issues, and by doing that you would help the project a lot. If you think that your organization would be fine to publicly acknowledge the adoption of MetaCube, then please do so by pushing pull requests to the community repository and editing the adopters.md file the same way as the other organizations done in that file. And that would help us gauge the level of adoption for the project. If you think that you are facing problems on your pull request with the tests and you think those are not related to your actual code changes, rather some infrastructure or CI problem, then please create a issue in the relevant repository and link that issue to the MetaCube CI tracker on the UI, and that would help us track the problem. And that's all. Check out the links if you are looking for any of the statistics, deliverables, pipelines, documentation, and so on. I think, again, I don't think we will discuss this VBM CTL now or in the near future, but I will keep it there as a reminder, and then can go with the working group updates. I don't see any specific item from any of the working group. Is there anyone who would like to mention something from the working groups or related to the working groups?
I have nothing.
Okay. Then the release team, I added a few things that have been done recently by the release team. There have been a lot of patch releases. To feel free to check those. I don't see anyone present from the recent release. Oh, Ricardo, you are there. Would you like to say anything?
Just we're very close to cut the new bug fix branches upstream in Ironic and Ironic Pattern Agent. So we will have the new Ironic image and Ironic standalone operator releases right after. I think like next week or the week after.
That sounds good. Thanks. Thank you. Anyone else? Any comment, question related to the releases? If not, then I think we can continue with the discussion topics. I had just one topic. I just wanted to collect the KubeCon EU 2026 events that might be relevant to MetaCube, and I just put there the few that I'm aware of, and please feel free to extend those. I'm trying to understand the kind of how many and what kind of talks and submissions were accepted from our community. And I see one from Dimitri. Oh,
Yeah.
the architecture discussion. That planning one, right? The
Yeah, I don't remember how we exactly phrased it. It's the one for
uh,
Trip Fest.
yeah, yeah. It's on waitlist actually. So I don't know what's the status of that because it said that it's waitlisted. So I didn't look into more details that can that change in the future or what's the final status of it because they said that they will send some updates related to the schedule, but even the maintainer summit schedule has not arrived properly yet, and I didn't see like the final verdict on that, like strategic planning and whatnot was the title.
We had, I don't know, I can't see the screen now because I am on mobile phone, but we had this Metal Cube incubation, and that is accepted both in the Maintainer Summit and in the main event. So there would be a couple of talks on that. Me and Dimitri both are there.
Yeah, I think Dimitri is adding it to the list right now. Thanks, Kashif. This path to incubation.
Yeah, we will have 2 talks on that.
Okay, that sounds awesome. I think this year we will have the most number of talks and events and discussions.
Wait,
I'm
sorry, what
going.
do you mean by 2 talks on that? I'm only aware of 1 talk.
So yesterday, actually, I don't know if you accepted now the Maintainer Summit talk also. The incubation, I also submitted in the Maintainer Summit because the audience is a bit different and they accepted that one as well. So we will have the same talk twice. One in the Maintainer Summit, which is on Sunday, and the other one is the main event.
That's odd. So the one I got was not about this talk. It was about as a community meeting that got accepted to the
Oh,
Maintainer Summit, and I won't make
okay.
it on Sunday. Unfortunately, I had to finalize my plannings way in advance, my travel plans, so I won't be there. Hopefully, Mahnur will.
Okay, then we need to fix that with the Kipon folks that probably I'll do it alone. But it's the same presentation that we would be doing on the main event anyhow. So I can do it alone, but let's prepare it and we can talk later on that.
Yeah, because I didn't even get any notifications about the one you're talking about.
It could be that I gave the this invite, but probably you didn't accept, or probably that's the reason you didn't get any notification.
Could be, because I was really unsure about Sunday. Okay, so I did the one that is on the main track, which we both confirmed. Uh, I don't have a link to the second one. Or the first one. Anyway.
Yeah, I'll put that later. I'm currently like away from the keyboard.
And I don't think the schedule for the maintenance summit is out yet. So, for example, there's the community meeting, but we don't have time for it yet, I guess.
Yeah, I was looking for it. I checked on Shed, like the Shed tool, and the event is not created or we are not assigned to the event. Only the main and Colo has an event, but not this summit yet. Although it's supposed to be published today, but I guess it's like some US time zone or based timing, or I don't know. Maybe at night we will receive it. But I suspect that the community meeting will be like before lunchtime, but it's just a suspicion from my side. From my side, and I think Kashif, you also, we booked flights and hotel and everything, so we will be there for sure.
I had to book a flight for last week, so I booked it for. I'm arriving on Sunday, but I'm arriving like at 1 or 2 p.m. So if it's before lunch, I will not be able to join.
Yep, I think I will have laptop with me, and I will make online meeting for it also. So folks who want to join, then can join and discuss things. It might be that if from our community there will be only a few of us, or just a small number of maintainers, then. But from other communities, there might be interest to learn more about us. Then I will present a more like introductory like info session about us, and it will become more of a Q&A. I have participated in this Maintainer Summit project discussions, and they can, like, they usually are not conducted the way that the maintainers planned. So I think we have to adapt whatever happens, and depending on how many of the actual Metal3 contributors and maintainers will be present. But at least we will have this event, and I plan to record it. Let's see how it goes. Oh, yep. And I'm just reading your comments, Dimitri. Yeah, that wait list, and the other is that organize hallway discussions. Do we have quorum to discuss something complex? Well, I think we will have quite a few folks there. I don't know exactly the final number from our side. At least Kashif and me, we will be there for sure. Who else comes? I'm not sure. But from your side, it's you, Dimitri, right, and Maknor, and then Nicholas is also coming. So there will be quite a few of us that we can at least brainstorm something.
Yeah, I'm confirmed already. Maknor is still pending confirmation from Red Hat.
Okay, so more or less that's the picture so far.
By the way, do we have someone from Orange on KubeCon? Pierre? Anyone?
My colleagues will be there. I think Thomas Morin will attend, but I won't.
That's a pity.
So for Silva and screen integration, you can ask Thomas.
Okay, good to know.
Okay. Anyone else? Any comments, question?
Just about the kiosk, we have the entire day or just half a day? Or...
Half a day AM shift. For incubated projects, they don't allow full day kiosk, only graduated. So I think the shift ends at 1:30 or something like that, and it starts at 10 or something. I will post the schedule options, but ours, like, final slot is not determined yet. We just know that we have it, and it's an AM shift for over 3 days.
Okay. I'll probably be able to be there if you need help with the kiosk.
Yeah, certainly. The more the merrier. It depends on the traffic, but we had years when there were a lot of traffic, and even 4 people were like constantly talking with like guests or people who came by. So certainly.
Yeah, I'm also planning to prioritize kiosk over any topics, so I'll be mostly there.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay. Any other question? Okay, if nothing, then we have one RFE forced detachment of host from Ironic.
Yeah, it was me, by the way. I didn't put my name. Wanted to highlight this thing. So it comes from a lot of situations downstream where a host being deployed or cleaned or whatever, inspecting actually quite often to get wedged to a state that some intervention is needed. And it's very handy to have an ability to tell Ironic to get its hands off the node for some time. That's what proposal is. So extended detachment annotation to have a force mode where we'll try to make Ironic delete the node as soon as possible and leave it in the state so that intervention can be done. Yeah, that's it. There are some technical details of how I see it working. There are soft dependencies on the Ironic side. Comments welcome.
I don't think there's a way, but if there's a way to, in this case, have Ironic not delete the ISO it created for it, it would be nice.
I need to see. So you mean don't delete specifically, not don't disconnect. Specifically, don't delete it from the cache.
Yes, because usually what it does is, well, when you use for the IPA initram and kernel, it generates an ISO file.
Yeah.
And this one, when it fails or enters an error or you delete the node, it just delete that file. And so when you need this one for the investigation, it's annoying.
Okay, that's a good comment. I will check how it works nowadays and see if it's easy to change that or not. Because I agree, it's kind of useful, especially if you want to freeze the node in the state it was and it had an ISO connected. If you delete the file, it's kind of problematic. Yeah, I'll take a look at that when/if I get to implementing this.
Interest from my side. I'm working with stuff that requires potentially detachment even in this unstable state to handle fault scenarios. So if we could add that to this, that like we relax the detachment logic so that it better handles the detachment better for non-stable states. That would be also very useful. But I think that's something that this can do if you say it's forced detachment from Ironic.
Yeah, should be.
Okay, I guess there is no opposition to this. I think many folks need this to some extent. Okay, any other topic, any other idea that you would like to bring up to discuss? If nothing, I will quickly check the milestone status. Because I think we will need to add new milestones here because 1.11s have been released. And we have to have +1 on this, and we have to move everything that's not a bug fix from here, every feature that are long-running features. Yeah, need to migrate to 1.13. Okay. And I will leave only the one that has bug tags everywhere. This is there active work on this? No. Okay, then this can go to 13 also. Okay. Then Capm3. Similar situation. New milestones. 14. And we have to evict them from 5 if they are not just bumps or fixes. Yeah, good first issues. These all migrate to 113. There is this one, is there active work on bug fix? No, no active. And that gets shifted. Okay. Then we have BMO. Let's see. 13. Okay, again, a lot of stuff needs to be evicted. These are all features, CI, feature, and the bug. This is mine. This can go to 13. This is long term also, no work done. 13. Scalability test to BMO suit that and 13. This is 13. What if kernel stuff? This was a feature, and there have been work on this. I remember, or just discussion. Oh yeah, the ironic side. Yeah. No, this is still ongoing discussion. Okay. what's the Dimitri? If you are still here, do you remember what's the situation with this one, the external provision? Because for a time there was a lot of discussion and even some PRs.
Yeah, I think there
were-
was a PR to fix that, and I think it got stale. I think the author effectively abandoned it. Yeah, I guess PR and probably just stale both killed it.
Even on this, there was active review. Your comments. Yeah, it just went. It wasn't even the stale that killed it, but the author. Okay.
Let's beat him. I think it could be useful.
Yeah. Now the only question is that should we keep the? Is this? Yeah, this is the PR. I want to check the issue. So I think this removing the external provision is still not a clear scenario. There is still interest to modify this behavior. So I think I will just leave this like that, but I will move it to next release target. What does this look? Okay. And yeah, automatic cleaning, new features, very good, but not for 1.12, but for the future. Okay. Then we have the ironic image. V33. 33 was out. Yeah, right. This is also in need of a new one. 34. And we don't have that many leftovers here. And some of these could be even. Okay, these all need to go. And maybe not even for 34, but I will move these to 35 because soon the 34 will be cut, and after that we will also start releasing it in the MetaCube. So these seem to be all long-term stuff, so I will move them a bit further. And then 34 has one, fine. 32, I hope it's just uplift. This is something I made. I will probably base it on it's needed in this one too, or actually we have to discuss this one. And Ricardo have gave a good feedback for this. And this is kind of a painful topic. Apart from like the release 32 in general, these ironic images dependency within the images start to kind of degrade after some time. And I understand that in the upstream OpenStack, when there is a release, that like these dependencies are synced, and there is a reason for the upper constraint and the specific package version and all that things. But for users of like the MetaCube stack, it could be a bit problematic if we don't handle CVEs on the images that we are releasing, because these are from actively maintained branches. So I don't know if you have. I'm mainly asking you, Ricardo and Dimitri, if you have any idea how could we improve this.
This is like a hard topic, because for recent changes, sorry, for recent releases, I think we might be able to uplift the versions. But for a bit older releases, that may cause some issues in terms of code compatibility, and if we want to, uplift the versions of the of the libraries, we may need to do some like weird things, or we may possibly not even be able to do that. One very painful alternative would be to apply patches on the fly to the code, meaning backporting the CVE fixes and apply them during build time to the ironic image. Which I know it doesn't sound very, I mean, it's really painful, because that means that we will have to maintain also kind of I don't know, a structure where we keep all the patches for all the libraries that we want to update, to fix. For building tools, I think that's easier because usually pip and setup tools are like, they work well with like most recent versions, even with like old releases of other libraries. But for everything else, yeah, I don't see a lot of possibilities, if not what I mentioned. So either uplifting the version or patching the old one.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking through these findings, or what are actually the deviations in the dependency, and there is technically one that I have found that's a problematic one. That was this URL lib. I mean, in this current scenario, I'm not speaking in general, just this one pair. But the URL lib is like, it's like the difference is so huge, because I see that in Ironic it's still this one dot something is used, and this community deprecated the one dot anything, so they only maintain this 2.x versions, and that's like a big change to the API itself. So I'm also expecting, as I wrote in here too, that I don't really expect this URL lib to work after we bump it, or may introduce like unexpected behaviors. So that's yeah, that's exactly that patching scenario we were talking about. But patching like these generic libraries, or the use of these generic libraries, that can be also very messy, and we also don't really have good facilities to test every scenario, that okay, this Ironic is actually on par with the upstream Ironic in every sense. It's just using a newer URL lib, for example. So that's kind of messy, even with patches, because I don't know what we are introducing. So yeah, I think we are on the same page with the problem, but I don't know. But would you be, let's say if we would start doing these uplifts, and we would start maintaining those patch files, let's say, would you be totally against that, or would that be something that's just painful, but there is no like opposition to it in principle? And what I mean is not like some elaborate building stuff, but we would have like the static patch files in the branch.
Yeah, so I can tell you that downstream, it's like we kind of do the same in terms of patching old libraries, old versions. although it's a little bit more automated because we have RPMs, we have packages. So it's kind of like it's easier at the same time, a little bit more complex because of all the RPM building part, of course. So you have spec files and you have other things that you need to think about. But since it's like a system that works since like a very long time, well, it just works, right? The new approach, meaning having patching during the actual container builds, well, that's something that we are actually starting to think about because of the S2I images, meaning the source to image directly. So building containers directly from source instead of relying on packages. I think what we can try is start with try to see if we can uplift the versions, see how they work, at least on the master branch and on the very like the most recent releases, probably the latest two. See how that works. I'm not against patching during build time, but we need to think of a smart way to do that. So having like a proper structure and try to not have a huge repository for the ironic image or other containers that you want to build with like a lot of patches there. So for example, one idea would be to have a separate repository for the patches and grab everything from there, or even having a one-to-one like forks, for example, or sync between the different libraries. For the moment, I think having a separate repository just for all the patches could work because we don't have a lot, and luckily we don't support like hundreds or even dozens of releases. So probably it will work in that way. But again, it's something that probably we need to like sit down and talk about it and understand what are the good and the bad of the different alternatives.
The amount of package cover is also kind of huge.
Yep,
Ironic
it is
not the smallest of projects there.
Yeah, we're talking about more than 200 dependencies. And I know very well because I kind of deal with that every day downstream. So yeah.
Same here.
Yeah. Okay. So then the first step that we can do is that if something is just a small bump, like let's say, for example, here is the cryptography or the Jericho, and these things are just like patch versions, don't change functionality. So if it's not like a functional change, doesn't require changing the code of Ironic, then we kind of can get away with it, if I understood correctly. But if something is more serious, like this URL lib, then we cannot do it right now. But then we have to sit down and come up with a way of patching these if we want to maintain these branches. Did I understand it correctly? From like upstream perspective.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Okay, then it will be for now on a case by case basis what can be patched without much effort, or like bumped up without much effort, and then we will have a separate parallel discussion. I expect it to be quite long for these more in-depth patching when we have to patch the source code. I guess most downstreams do it, so I feel you on that one. I also coordinate with those people who do it for us. So yeah, okay. I think it was very useful for me, this discussion on this one. This one has to stay here to some extent. I won't move it from 32, but I will make others for other branches, and then also refactor this one. So that was. Let's go back. We don't have much. Yeah, this was the last one here, and then I think I already added the milestones. Yeah, 32, 34 is next. Okay, it looks fine, and then we have the IRSO left, and the 0.8 is it was not released yet, right? It's 0.7, the latest release.
Yeah.
A bit. Yeah. Okay. So that's that. We have the +2, and it looks fine. Okay. Cool. Okay. So that's all. I guess the ironic dependency discussion will continue on GitHub and then on Slack. Yeah, that's all from my side. Is there anyone who would like to bring up any other topic before we close the meeting? Anything related to meeting or the topics or improvements, questions, requests, anything? Okay, if not, then thank you all for your time and have a nice rest of the week, and let's meet next week, same time. And until then, bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.